Welcome back to Secrets Exposed. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. You're the reason these stories worth sharing. Tell us where you're watching from, city or country. We're amazed by how far these tales reach. To get daily new and amazing stories for you, subscribe our channel and press bell icon. All right, let's begin. The terminal buzzed with the noise of rolling suitcases, scattered announcements, and hurried footsteps. Families stood clustered around the arrival's gate, their eyes glued to the sliding doors as soldiers in uniform stepped through, one after another. For most, it was a moment of joy, a long-awaited embrace, a safe return. For Michael, it was supposed to be the same. He walked with tired but eager strides, his military duffel hanging off one shoulder, his eyes sweeping the crowd with the desperation of a man who had counted every day apart from his daughter. And then he saw her. Lily. She stood near the far wall, not with balloons or a handmade sign, but clutching a worn-out stuffed rabbit that looked far older than her 9 years. Her small frame looked even smaller in the oversized hoodie she wore. Her lips pressed tight, her wide eyes darting nervously around as if the crowd itself frightened her. Michael's chest swelled, a surge of love and relief breaking through the fatigue. Dropping his bag, he raised his hand. Lily. His voice cracked from months of silence. Her head snapped up. For a brief second, her expression lit up. The rabbit slipped from her grip, and she ran. Her sneakers slapped against the tile floor, the sound echoing through the terminal until she collided with him, arms wrapping around his waist with desperate force. Michael crouched down, enveloping her in the embrace he'd replayed in his mind night after night overseas. He pressed his face against her hair, only to freeze. Her hair wasn't the silky, golden braid he remembered. It was hacked unevenly, jagged strands sticking out as though someone had taken scissors in anger, not care. His throat tightened. He pulled back slightly, his eyes tracing her. That's when he noticed the sleeves of her hoodie sliding upward. Red. Angry lines across her forearms. Scars. Some fresh. Some healed over. Michael's stomach dropped. Lily, what is this? His voice trembled, part fear, part disbelief. She looked down, shoulders curling inward. Her small body shook against his arms. Then, with a voice so fragile he almost missed it, she whispered the words that shattered his world. Stepmom cut me because I cried too loud. The crowd kept moving around them. Families laughing, lovers kissing, children shouting with joy. But Michael heard none of it. His ears rang. His grip on Lily tightened instinctively, as if the world itself was trying to take her away. He pulled her close again, burying her against his chest. His eyes burned, but no tears fell. Inside, something far stronger ignited. A promise. He stroked her back gently, whispering against her hair. No one will ever hurt you again. Do you hear me? Not ever. Lily clung tighter, sobbing into his uniform. For her, this reunion wasn't about joy. It was about safety, survival. And in that crowded terminal, Michael made a vow, one so fierce it carved itself into his bones. His daughter would never feel pain like this again, and the person who had caused it would pay. The ride home was quiet, too quiet. Michael kept one hand on the steering wheel, the other resting gently on Lily's knee, as if his touch alone could keep her safe. Streetlights flickered across her pale face, highlighting the hollows beneath her eyes. She sat pressed against the door, the stuffed rabbit clutched tightly in her lap, as if afraid someone might take it away. Every few minutes, Michael glanced at her. He wanted to ask 100 questions. When did this start? How bad did it get? Why didn't you tell me sooner? But each time he opened his mouth, he saw the tremor in her lips and the way her eyes darted toward the darkened sky outside. She was exhausted, broken. He bit back the questions and drove in silence. When they pulled into the driveway, the porch light clicked on automatically. The house looked exactly the same as when he left months ago. Trimmed hedges, neat curtains, the smell of fresh lavender drifting faintly through the cracked window. On the surface, it was perfect, but Michael felt it, something poisonous hiding beneath the order. The front door swung open. Anna stood framed by the light, wearing a fitted sweater and a practiced smile. Her blonde hair shimmered, her makeup flawless. Michael, she exclaimed, stepping forward with arms outstretched. You're home. Michael stiffened. Lily instinctively shrank behind him, clutching his shirt. That single movement told him more than words ever could. He forced himself to hug Anna, but it was stiff, cautious. She smelled of perfume, expensive and overwhelming, a mask over something darker. Yeah, he muttered, I'm home. Anna crouched down, turning her attention to Lily. And there's my sweet girl. Did you miss me? Her voice was honey-sweet, but her eyes were sharp, scanning Lily's expression like a hawk. Lily's fingers tightened around Michael's shirt. She didn't answer. Michael cleared his throat. She's tired. Long day. For a moment, Anna's smile faltered, just a flicker. Then it returned. Of course. Let's get her to bed. Inside, everything looked pristine, spotless counters, dinner plates neatly stacked, a candle flickering on the dining table. Anna had prepared for this reunion, creating the image of a warm, welcoming home. But the air felt heavy, like walking into a stage play where everyone already knew their lines. Michael helped Lily into bed. She curled under the blankets, gripping the rabbit tightly, her eyes fixed on the door as if she feared who might walk through it. Michael leaned down and whispered, You're safe. I promise. Her lips trembled. Don't let her tuck me in. Michael's chest tightened. I won't. He kissed her forehead and closed the door gently. Downstairs, Anna poured 2 glasses of wine, her smile stretching too wide. She looks pale. You know how dramatic kids can be. She handed him a glass. Michael studied her closely. Her nails were perfectly polished, but one thumbnail bore a faint scratch, the kind that comes from scraping skin. His gut churned. She's not dramatic, he said quietly. Anna's eyes flicked up, sharp for a second, before softening again. Of course not. I just mean, she gets emotional when you're gone. She cries over the smallest things. She sipped her wine, her tone light, but Michael noticed her hand trembled. He set his glass down untouched. She told me something tonight. Anna froze, her mask slipping for just a moment. Her knuckles whitened around the stem of her glass. Oh? And what was that? Michael leaned back, his gaze unwavering. That you cut her hair. The room thickened with silence. The only sound was the faint ticking of the wall clock. Anna's laugh came too quick, too high. Michael, she's a child. You know how they make things up. She probably tried to cut it herself and doesn't want to admit it. Kids do silly things. Michael's jaw tightened. He wanted to shout, to slam his fist on the table, to drag her out of his house right then. But he didn't. Not yet. He needed proof. He needed the truth laid bare in the open, undeniable. He leaned forward, forcing a smile that didn't reach his eyes. You're right. Kids do silly things. But inside, a storm was building. And Michael knew, if Anna was lying, it was only a matter of time before the cracks in her story split wide open. The morning sun spilled through the blinds, painting stripes of light across Lily's room. Michael woke early, unable to shake the image of her scars from his mind. He brewed coffee, the bitter aroma filling the kitchen, but it did little to calm his restless thoughts. When Lily came downstairs, her hoodie sleeves tugged down as far as they would go. She clutched her rabbit against her chest, eyes scanning the room nervously before sitting at the far end of the table. Anna was already bustling around the kitchen, humming softly, flipping pancakes on the skillet. It should have been a normal morning, but it wasn't. Michael watched closely. Anna placed a plate in front of Lily, a smile glued on her face. Eat up, sweetheart. Your favorite, chocolate chip. Lily's fork hovered over the plate, but she didn't touch it. She cast a quick glance at her father, then back at the pancakes. Michael noticed the way her small shoulders stiffened, as though every bite might come with strings attached. Anna leaned closer, her hand brushing Lily's arm. Come on, darling, don't be shy. Lily flinched. It was subtle, but unmistakable. Michael's jaw tightened. If she's not hungry, don't force her, he said evenly, sipping his coffee. Anna's smile twitched. I'm not forcing her. I just want her to feel included. Her tone was light, but her eyes flickered with irritation before she quickly turned back to the stove. Michael's suspicion sharpened. The mask was cracking piece by piece. Later, he offered to drive Lily to school. Anna insisted. No, I'll take her. It's our routine. But the way Lily's hand tightened around his sleeve told him everything he needed to know. I'll do it today, Michael said firmly. His gaze held Anna's, unblinking, until she relented with a too bright smile. The drive to school was quiet at first. Lily stared out the window, her thumb rubbing the rabbit's frayed ear. Finally, Michael spoke softly. Did she ever hurt you before this? Or was it only when I was away? Lily hesitated, her lips parting as if to speak. Then she shook her head quickly. I can't. She'll be mad. Michael swallowed hard. He wanted to tell her Anna wouldn't touch her again, but he knew promises meant nothing if Lily didn't feel safe. Instead, he reached across the console and squeezed her small hand. You don't have to say it now. Just know, I believe you. Always. Her eyes glistened, but she nodded faintly. When he returned home, Anna was waiting in the kitchen. She leaned against the counter, arms folded, her smile thin. You don't trust me, do you? She asked. Michael raised an eyebrow. What makes you say that? Her laugh was short, sharp. The way you look at me. The way you hover over Lily, as if I'm some threat. She pushed off the counter, stepping closer. Do you know how insulting that is? I've been raising her while you were off playing soldier. Michael's fists clenched at his sides. Raising her, his voice was low, steady, but carried a dangerous edge. Is that what you call it? Anna's eyes narrowed. For a heartbeat, the sweetness vanished entirely, replaced by something cold, something feral. But just as quickly, the mask slid back into place. She forced a laugh, brushing past him. You're tired. Paranoid. Let's not fight on your first day back. Michael stood frozen, watching her retreat upstairs. His pulse thundered in his ears. He had seen it, just for a moment, the truth flickering behind her eyes. And he knew with certainty now, Lily hadn't lied. Anna was hiding something. And whatever it was darker than he had imagined. The house was too quiet that afternoon. With Lily at school, Michael found himself alone with his thoughts and with Anna. She moved around the living room, dusting the mantel, straightening magazines, humming like nothing was wrong. But beneath the rhythm of her movements, Michael felt tension simmering, a current that seemed to hum in the walls themselves. He needed clarity, proof, something beyond Lily's trembling whispers and his own suspicion. When Anna stepped into the backyard to water the plants, Michael seized the moment. He crept upstairs, his boots silent against the carpet. He entered Lily's room first. The air smelled faintly of lavender mixed with something bitter and aseptic. Her dresser was tidy, her books stacked neatly. But when Michael opened the top drawer, his stomach twisted. Inside were scraps of hair, golden strands, unevenly cut, bundled together with a rubber band. Not from a child's playful experiment. The ends were jagged, harsh, done with force, not care. His hand shook as he picked up the bundle. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was deliberate. A creak on the stairs made him shove the drawer shut. Anna's voice floated up, sing-song and casual. Michael? Where are you? In the bedroom. He called back, forcing calm into his voice. He slipped into his own room, just as she reached the top of the stairs. She peeked in, smiling. Oh, there you are. I was thinking, maybe tonight we could have dinner, just the two of us. Celebrate your return properly. Her tone was light, but her eyes studied him too closely, searching for something. Michael forced a smile. Yeah, maybe. She lingered for a moment, her gaze sweeping the room as if checking for signs of intrusion. Then she nodded, turning away. The moment her footsteps faded downstairs, Michael exhaled shakily. Later that evening, he drove to pick Lily up from school. She spotted him at the gate, her face lighting up briefly before worry dimmed it again. As she climbed into the car, she whispered, "Did she ask you about me?" Michael glanced at her. "Why do you ask?" "She always knows," Lily murmured, hugging the rabbit to her chest. "When I talk about her, it's like she can feel it." The words sent a chill down his spine. That night, after Lily was asleep, Anna set the table with candles and wine. She wore a silk dress, her hair falling in polished waves. To anyone else, she looked like the picture of devotion. But Michael couldn't unsee the bundle of Lily's hair hidden upstairs. Halfway through dinner, Anna leaned forward, her smile sharp beneath the flickering candlelight. "You're quieter than usual. What's on your mind?" Michael met her gaze steadily. "Lily." Her hand froze on the wine glass. For a split second, something flickered in her eyes, fear, then irritation. But she quickly masked it with a laugh. "She'll be fine. She just needs time to adjust to you being home again." Michael leaned back, voice steady. "She's covered in scars. That doesn't look like adjusting." The air went still. Anna's grip on the glass tightened. The candle flame cast long shadows across her face, highlighting the tension in her jaw. She didn't speak, and in that silence, Michael had his first undeniable proof. Not just in the hair, not just in the scars, but in her reaction. She knew. She wasn't surprised. She wasn't even shocked. She was guilty. The air in the dining room was heavy, the only sound the faint crackle of the candles burning low. Michael's gaze never left Anna, his words still echoing in the silence between them. "She's covered in scars," he repeated, slower this time, his voice steady but laced with fury. "That doesn't look like adjusting." Anna's hand trembled on the wine glass. For a moment, her eyes hardened, her mask slipping. Then she set the glass down gently, folding her hands on the table as if preparing to lecture a child. "You don't understand what it's like," she began softly. "You leave for months. You don't see the tantrums, the screaming, the way she throws herself on the floor over nothing. I've been the one here, holding this family together." Michael's jaw clenched. Holding it together? By cutting her hair off? By putting scars on her arms? Anna flinched at the sharpness in his tone, but pressed on. "She exaggerates. Always has. Yes, I had to discipline her. Do you know what it's like when she cries for hours, screaming so loud the neighbors start asking questions? You weren't here, Michael. I had to make her stop somehow." His blood boiled. "So you hurt her?" Anna's eyes flashed. "Don't say it like that. I didn't hurt her. I taught her consequences. Children need boundaries, and Lily, she's stubborn. She needs someone stronger than her to remind her where the line is." Michael's fist curled on the table. He wanted to leap across it, to shatter the calm expression she wore like armor. But he forced himself still. If he lost control, she would twist it. She was already twisting it. Cutting a child's hair isn't discipline. Leaving scars isn't discipline. It's abuse. His voice dropped, heavy with restrained rage. Anna leaned back, crossing her arms. "You call it abuse because you don't know what it's like to be here. Alone." She cries. She screams. She blames me for not being her mother. Do you think I don't hear it? Every single day? Mom would have done this better. Mom wouldn't yell. Mom wouldn't leave me. I gave up everything to be with you, Michael. Everything. And what do I get? A child who hates me. For the first time, her voice cracked. Not with guilt, but with bitterness. Michael's chest tightened, but not with sympathy. With horror. This wasn't regret. This wasn't remorse. It was resentment. Anna's eyes glistened, but her tone sharpened. "Maybe I went too far sometimes. But I did it for us. For this family. Because she needed control. If you'd been here, you would have seen it too." Michael rose slowly from his chair, his shadow stretching across the table. "No," he said coldly. "If I'd been here, I would have stopped you." Anna's face hardened, the cracks in her mask now fully visible. She didn't argue. She didn't deny. Instead, she reached for her glass, her hand steady once more. "You're back now," she said flatly. "So maybe you'll see for yourself. Maybe you'll realize I was right." Michael turned away, his fists trembling at his sides. He wanted to scream, to drag her to the police that very moment. But he knew partial truth wasn't enough. Not legally. Not yet. He needed more. He needed her to expose the whole truth herself. And judging by the way her bitterness was boiling to the surface, Michael knew it was only a matter of time before she did. The weekend arrived with gray skies and a drizzle that tapped steadily against the windows. Michael suggested a simple outing, breakfast at a local cafe, something to lighten the mood after his long absence. Lily's eyes brightened at the idea, though she stayed quiet, glancing at Anna nervously. Anna forced a smile. "That sounds wonderful," she said, her tone dripping with practiced sweetness. But Michael noticed the tightness in her jaw, the way her fingers flexed against the table as if gripping invisible reins. At the cafe, the smell of fresh pastries and coffee filled the air. Families laughed at corner tables, children swung their legs beneath their seats, and sunlight fought to break through the clouds outside. To anyone else, it was an ordinary Saturday morning. But at their table, tension simmered beneath every word. Lily sat between her father and stepmother, picking at a plate of pancakes. She ate slowly, almost mechanically, as though each bite were a test. Anna's smile never wavered, but her eyes stayed fixed on Lily, sharp and calculating. "Eat faster, sweetheart," Anna murmured. "We don't want to keep the waiter waiting, do we?" Lily's fork paused midair. She gave a small nod and lifted another bite. Michael's hand tightened around his coffee mug. It wasn't the words, it was the tone, the threat woven beneath the surface. "Let her eat at her own pace," he said evenly. Anna chuckled, light and airy. "I'm only encouraging her. You know how she dawdles." But Lily's shoulders had already stiffened, her small frame shrinking as if bracing for something worse. Then it happened. The fork slipped from Lily's fingers, clattering against the plate. The sound was small, but Lily gasped quietly, eyes wide, as if the accident carried consequences far greater than a dirty fork. Anna's smile didn't move, but her hand shot under the table, pinching Lily's thigh hard enough to make her flinch. Michael saw it. The cafe faded away. The chatter, the clinking cups, the distant laughter. All he could see was Anna's manicured hand gripping his daughter's leg, punishing her in silence. "Stop!" His voice cut through the air, low and dangerous. Anna's head snapped toward him, her smile faltering. "Excuse me. Move your hand. Now." For a moment, their eyes locked, his burning with fury, hers flashing with defiance. Then, slowly, she withdrew her hand, laying it back on the table as if nothing had happened. Lily's eyes glistened, her lips trembling. She whispered so quietly Michael almost missed it. "Thank you." Michael reached over and wrapped his arm around her shoulders, pulling her close. He didn't care who saw. Anna leaned back in her chair, her smile gone. The mask was slipping piece by piece, and she knew it. The rest of breakfast passed in tense silence. When they returned home, Lily rushed upstairs to her room, shutting the door softly behind her. Michael stood in the entryway, setting his keys down with deliberate calm. Anna turned to him, her voice sharp now, no sweetness left. "You're undermining me. Do you realize what that does? She already doesn't respect me, and now you." Michael stepped forward, his voice low but firm. "Respect is earned, not beaten into a child." Anna's face darkened, her eyes narrowing. For a moment, the fury inside her was naked, unrestrained. Then she smirked, shaking her head. "You think you've figured everything out, don't you? But you don't know half of it." Michael froze, his stomach dropping at the cold certainty in her tone. She brushed past him, her perfume sharp in the air, and disappeared into the kitchen. For the first time, Michael realized this wasn't just cruelty. This was control, calculation. And Anna had secrets still buried in this house. Secrets she believed he hadn't uncovered yet. But he would. And when he did, she wouldn't be able to smile her way out of it. That night, the house was silent, but Michael couldn't sleep. He lay awake, staring at the ceiling, Anna's words echoing in his head. "You don't know half of it. It wasn't just cruelty. She was hiding something. And if he didn't uncover it soon, Lily would pay the price." Careful not to wake Anna, he slipped out of bed and padded softly into the hallway. The air felt colder here, heavier, as though the walls themselves held their breath. He paused outside Lily's door. A faint glow seeped from beneath it. He knocked gently. "Lily? It's Dad." The door creaked open, and Lily's small face peeked out. Her eyes were red, her cheeks damp. She held her stuffed rabbit tightly against her chest. "Couldn't sleep?" he whispered. She shook her head. "I was scared she'd come in again." Michael's chest tightened. "Come in? At night?" Lily bit her lip, hesitating. Then, in a whisper so faint he almost missed it, she said, "Sometimes she checks on me. If I'm awake, she gets angry. She says I need to learn silence, even when I'm dreaming. Michael's stomach churned. What does she do when she's angry? Lily turned her wrist slightly. In the lamplight, Michael saw faint circular marks. Old burns, small but unmistakable. His breath caught. She said it was so I'd remember to be quiet, Lily murmured, hugging the rabbit tighter. Rage thundered through him, but he forced his voice calm. Thank you for telling me. You did the right thing. I won't let her hurt you again. She looked at him with wide, uncertain eyes, as if afraid to believe it. When she finally drifted to sleep, Michael stepped into the hallway, his hands trembling. He had seen enough, but he needed proof, real proof. Something that would end this nightmare without any chance of Anna twisting the story. The thought drove him to the study downstairs. The room smelled faintly of polish and paper. Stacks of unopened mail lined the desk, and Anna's neatly arranged notebooks sat in a row. He opened the first, recipes and shopping lists. The second, budget notes. Then he found the third. Inside, the handwriting was sharper, pressed deep into the paper. The entries weren't lists. They were records. Tuesday, screamed for an hour. Haircut punishment applied. Thursday, through plate. Arm marked to reminder. Sunday, quiet today. Finally learning obedience. Michael's breath came shallow, his hands shaking as he flipped through page after page. Each line was clinical, cold, like Anna wasn't writing about a child, but about a project. A creak upstairs made him snap the book shut. Footsteps descended the staircase slowly. He shoved the notebook into the inside pocket of his jacket just as Anna appeared in the doorway. Wearing her robe, her face shadowed. "What are you doing down here?" she asked, her voice deceptively calm. Michael forced a smile. "Couldn't sleep. Thought I'd sort some of the mail." Anna's eyes lingered on him. Too long, too sharp. Then she smiled faintly, stepping closer. "You've been restless since you came home. Maybe you're imagining things. Maybe Lily's been feeding you stories. You know how children can be." Michael's grip tightened around the notebook hidden against his chest. He gave a small nod, masking the fury burning in his veins. Anna studied him for another beat before turning back up the stairs. "Get some rest," she said lightly. "You'll need it." Her footsteps faded, but Michael stood frozen in the dark. The words on the pages seared into his mind. This wasn't just resentment. This wasn't a woman at the edge of patience. This was obsession, and now he had proof. The morning light crept through the curtains, but the house felt colder than ever. Michael sat at the kitchen table with a mug of untouched coffee, the notebook hidden safely in his briefcase upstairs. Every page of it burned in his mind. Each entry was a scar in words, written with surgical precision. Across from him, Anna moved about the kitchen with her usual grace, flipping eggs in the pan, humming softly under her breath. To anyone else, she looked like the perfect wife. But Michael saw the tightness in her shoulders, the sharp flick of her eyes when she caught him staring too long. She knew. She set the plates down, her smile a little too wide. "Eat up. You'll need energy if you're going to take Lily to school today." Michael blinked. I thought it would be good if you did it," she interrupted smoothly. "Spend more time with her. Bonding. Isn't that what you want?" The way she said it made his skin crawl. It wasn't kindness, it was control, shifting the pieces on her board. Lily crept into the room, her eyes flicking nervously between them. She slid into her chair and picked at the toast on her plate. Anna's smile sharpened. "Eat properly, sweetheart. You don't want to make Daddy think you're ungrateful, do you?" Michael reached across and ruffled Lily's hair gently. "She can eat however she likes." For a moment, Anna's fork froze against her plate. Her smile didn't falter, but her eyes went cold. The drive to school was quiet. Lily stared out the window, clutching her rabbit in her lap. When they pulled into the lot, she hesitated before opening the door. "Dad," she whispered. "She'll be mad if she thinks I told you too much." Michael leaned closer, his hand on hers. "You don't have to be scared anymore. I promise." But as Lily stepped out of the car and disappeared into the schoolyard, Michael's chest tightened. His promise felt fragile, like glass that could shatter with the wrong move. When he returned home, Anna was waiting by the front door, arms crossed. "You're different," she said flatly. Michael raised a brow. "Different how?" She stepped closer, tilting her head. "You watch me. You question me. That's not how it used to be. Her voice softened, laced with false concern. Is it Lily? Has she been saying things again? Michael forced his expression neutral. She's a child. Children talk. Anna studied him, searching his face. Then, slowly she smiled. You've always trusted me before. I hope you still do. It wasn't a request. It was a warning. That night, as Michael tucked Lily into bed, she clutched his hand tighter than ever. Please don't leave me alone with her tomorrow, she whispered, tears welling in her eyes. Michael kissed her forehead. I won't. But when he returned to the bedroom, Anna was already sitting on the edge of the bed, staring at the wall. She didn't look at him when she spoke. Do you know what happens when trust breaks in a family, Michael? Her voice was calm, almost detached. It doesn't heal. It rots. And then everything falls apart. Michael's pulse quickened. She wasn't talking about Lily anymore. She was talking about him. About them. Anna finally turned her head, her smile faint but chilling. I'd hate for that to happen here. Michael slipped beneath the covers, his body tense. He had proof in the notebook. He had Lily's words. But Anna was unraveling, and unraveling people were dangerous. He stared at the ceiling long after Anna's breathing slowed beside him. For the first time, Michael realized this wasn't just about saving Lily. It was about surviving Anna. The next morning began deceptively calm. Rain pattered against the windows, the gray sky casting a dull glow across the kitchen. Michael poured himself coffee, trying to quiet the storm inside his chest. Anna moved gracefully through the room, humming again, just like before. But there was something new in the way she moved. Calculated. Careful. Every gesture felt rehearsed, as if she were performing for an invisible audience. Lily patted in quietly, her hair still damp from her shower. She reached for a slice of toast. Before she could take a bite, Anna's hand darted out, plucking it from her fingers. Not that one, darling. Too much butter. Lily's shoulders slumped. She reached for another piece, only for Anna to snatch that away too. This one's too soft. You'll get crumbs everywhere. Michael set his mug down. Anna, he said firmly. Let her eat. Anna's smile snapped toward him. I'm only teaching her to make better choices. Isn't that what mothers do? The word hung in the air like a blade. Mother. Michael's voice stayed calm. She already has a mother. And you are not it. The smile faltered, but only for a second. Then Anna placed the toast back on Lily's plate with exaggerated care, as though nothing had happened. After breakfast, Michael grabbed his jacket. I'll take Lily to school again. Anna's head tilted. Actually, she said smoothly, I already called the school. Told them she wasn't feeling well. She'll be staying home today. With me. Michael froze. You what? Anna met his eyes, her smile too wide. She needs time with me, Michael. Alone. You've disrupted the balance since you came back. It's confusing her. Lily's face paled. She gripped her rabbit tighter, inching closer to her father. Michael's jaw tightened. She's going to school. Get her bag, Lily. Lily darted upstairs. Anna stepped closer, her voice dropping low. You think you're protecting her, but you're not. She's playing you, twisting you against me. Children do that. You'll see. Michael leaned in, his voice barely above a whisper. I've already seen. For a flicker of a second, Anna's mask cracked, her eyes sharp, her lips pressed thin. Then she laughed, too loud, too forced. When Lily returned, clutching her backpack, Anna didn't stop her. She simply stood in the doorway, her smile frozen in place, watching as Michael led Lily outside. But as he buckled Lily into the car, he felt the weight of Anna's gaze from the window above, heavy and unblinking. On the drive, Lily whispered, she's mad. She doesn't like when I'm alone with you. Michael reached over, squeezing her hand. Don't worry. I won't let her take you away from me. But deep down, he knew Anna wouldn't give up so easily. She had already begun tightening her grip, twisting the situation, rewriting reality in her favor. And if she couldn't control Lily with discipline anymore, she would find another way. That night, when Michael returned from work, he found Lily's room empty. The bed neatly made. The rabbit gone. Panic surged through him. He rushed down the hall, calling her name. Anna appeared at the top of the stairs, her robe flowing behind her, her expression calm. Don't panic, she said lightly. I thought it was best if she stayed with a friend tonight. Distance will help her realize how much she needs me. Michael's blood ran cold. This wasn't just control. This was abduction disguised as parenting. And he had no idea which friend Anna was talking about, or if Lily was even safe at all. Michael's pulse hammered as Anna stood at the top of the stairs, her voice calm, her expression unnervingly composed. "She's with a friend," she repeated, as if the words should soothe him. "Don't look at me like that, Michael. I'm not the enemy here." But every nerve in Michael's body screamed otherwise. "What friend?" His voice was sharp, barely restrained. "Who did you send her with?" Anna's lips curved in that practiced smile. "You wouldn't know them. One of the other mothers from school. She understands discipline. She understands me. Lily will be fine." Michael's blood ran cold. She wasn't just hiding Lily. She was aligning herself with someone who approved of her methods. He took the stairs two at a time, standing chest to chest with her. "Tell me where she is." Now, her eyes glistened with something between amusement and malice. "Why don't you trust me, Michael? After everything I've done for this family, you come back after months away, and suddenly you're the hero? She's been safe with me all this time. You should be thanking me." Michael's jaw clenched, his hands trembling at his sides. "Safe?" She's covered in scars. For the first time, Anna's smile slipped. Her voice hardened. "She's learning. Pain teaches faster than words ever could. And soon, you'll see I was right." Michael's stomach lurched. This wasn't discipline, it was doctrine. A twisted belief system Anna had convinced herself was necessary. He stormed past her into the bedroom, yanking open drawers, searching for any clue. In the bottom of her wardrobe, beneath neatly folded sweaters, he found another notebook, smaller, with a leather cover. Flipping it open, his blood turned to ice. Inside were letters. Not to him, not to Lily, but to someone else. Each page filled with Anna's looping handwriting, addressed to S. Today, she cried again. "I cut her hair shorter, just like you said." She screamed for hours, but I reminded her of the rules. She'll break eventually. When Michael returns, he'll understand. He has to. Michael's vision blurred with rage. This wasn't just Anna's madness, it was influenced. Someone had been guiding her. Someone dangerous. Behind him, the floor creaked. Anna stood in the doorway, her smile gone, her eyes burning. "You weren't supposed to see that." Michael slammed the notebook shut. "Who is S?" Anna tilted her head, her voice dropping to a chilling whisper. "The only person who truly understands what it takes to raise a child properly." Michael took a step closer, towering over her. "Where is Lily?" Her lips parted, but before she could speak, Michael's phone buzzed in his pocket. He pulled it out, and his heart nearly stopped. A text from an unknown number. A photo of Lily, sitting in the back seat of a car. Her rabbit clutched in her lap, tears streaking her cheeks. Beneath it, a message. "She's safe with me. Don't interfere." Michael's breath caught, his world tilting. The letters. The punishments. The whispers in the dark. Anna wasn't acting alone. And whoever S was, they had Lily now. Michael's hands shook as he stared at the phone. The picture of Lily burned into his vision. Her tear-streaked face, the rabbit clutched desperately in her arms, the blurred outline of a car window behind her. He lifted his gaze. Anna stood in the doorway, watching him with unnerving calm, her lips curved in the faintest smile. "You see," she whispered. "She's safe." Michael's voice was raw. "Safe? She's terrified. Who is S?" Anna stepped into the room, her bare feet silent on the carpet. "You won't understand. You've been gone too long. You don't know what it's like to raise her alone, to deal with the screaming, the disobedience, the constant reminders of her mother. But S listens. S knows what it takes to break a child's will so she can be rebuilt stronger." Michael's chest heaved, fury boiling over. "You let someone take my daughter?" Anna tilted her head, unflinching. "Not someone. The one who showed me how. The one who's been guiding me all along. She's in better hands than yours." The phone buzzed again. Another message appeared. "Don't fight this, Michael. She needs correction. We're making her perfect. Tonight you'll see." Michael's blood iced. The address was attached. An old farmhouse just outside town. He grabbed his coat, shoving past Anna. But her hand shot out, gripping his arm with surprising strength. If you go there, she said coldly, you'll ruin everything. You'll undo all the progress we've made. Don't you see? She was weak before. She's learning now. Michael wrenched free, his voice low and trembling with rage. The only weak one here is you. Anna's eyes narrowed, her composure cracking. You think you're a savior? You weren't here when she needed you most. You abandoned her, and I was the one who stepped in. You don't get to play the hero now. Her words cut deep, but Michael didn't flinch. He knew his absences had left scars, but not the kind Anna believed in. His mistakes could be mended. Hers were unforgivable. He stormed toward the door. Anna followed, her tone shifting to desperate. If you take her away, she'll never forgive you. She'll hate you for pulling her from the only structure she's known. Michael spun on her, his voice thunderous. She'll never hate me for saving her from you. For the first time, Anna faltered. Her lips trembled, her mask fully slipping. Beneath it was something darker than guilt, obsession. She truly believed she was molding Lily into something better, and she couldn't comprehend that anyone else might see it as monstrous. Michael slammed the door behind him and raced into the night. The rain had thickened, the windshield wipers struggling to keep up. His grip on the steering wheel was white-knuckled, his mind racing through every image of Lily's suffering. The burns, the scars, the notebook entries, the photograph, and one question gnawed at him. Who is S? As the farmhouse loomed in the headlights, Michael's breath caught. A single light glowed in the upstairs window. The driveway was empty except for an old sedan he didn't recognize. His phone buzzed one last time. Welcome home, Michael. We've been waiting for you. The farmhouse loomed like a shadow against the storm. Rain hammered the roof, lightning flashing across broken shutters. Michael's heart pounded as he pushed the door open. It creaked, echoing into the hollow dark. Inside, the air smelled of mildew and smoke. A single lamp glowed in the living room. And there, sitting on the worn sofa, was Lily. Her rabbit clutched her chest. Her eyes lit up when she saw him. Dad, she cried, rising to run toward him. But a figure stepped between them. It was a man, tall, lean, dressed in a faded coat. His hair was streaked with gray, his face sharp and lined with age. His eyes, however, burned with intensity. Stop, the man commanded, his voice calm but firm. Lily froze in place. Michael's fist tightened. Who the hell are you? The man's lips curled faintly. You already know. I'm S. Michael's stomach churned. What have you done to her? S shook his head slowly as though disappointed. Nothing more than prepare her. This world is cruel, Michael. Weakness gets children crushed. I've seen it. Felt it. I swore I would never let another child grow soft. Your wife understood that. She came to me because she knew discipline was love. Michael's rage burned hotter. Love? You call scars love. S's expression hardened. Pain teaches. Pain is permanent. Words are not. From the shadows of the room, another voice rose. He's right. Anna stepped into the lamplight. Her hair was damp from the rain, her face pale but resolute. She looked almost childlike standing beside S, her eyes fixed on Michael. You never understood, she said softly. I wasn't strong enough alone. He showed me how. He's been guiding me, helping me shape her. You left us, Michael. He stayed. Michael's chest heaved. The puzzle pieces snapped together. Anna hadn't just been cruel, she had been indoctrinated. And S wasn't some stranger. Michael's voice shook. Who are you to her? S's smile was faint, chilling. A mentor. A teacher. Once I taught her mother too, but she was too weak to stay. Anna listened. The room tilted. Michael staggered back, realization slamming into him. Her mother? You knew her? S's eyes gleamed. She left before the work could be finished. She left Lily unprepared. That's why Anna had to step in. To continue what your wife refused to. The truth hit like a blow. This wasn't random. Anna had been following a philosophy planted years ago. A cycle of discipline passed from this man to anyone desperate enough to listen. Michael's voice broke. She doesn't need to be broken. She needs to be loved. Lily whimpered softly, her tiny frame shaking. Dad, please. Michael's fury hardened into resolve. He stepped forward, placing himself between S and his daughter. You'll never touch her again. S's smile faltered, his eyes narrowing. Then you'll undo everything we've built. Michael's jaw clenched. Good. The room erupted. Anna lunged forward, screaming, but Michael shoved her aside. She stumbled, her shoulder slamming into the wall. S moved swiftly, but Michael grabbed a chair, swinging it hard. The legs splintered against S's arm, forcing him back. In the chaos, Michael grabbed Lily, lifting her into his arms. She clung to him, sobbing. Anna screamed behind them. She'll never be strong without us. You'll ruin her. Michael turned to the doorway, rain slashing in through the open frame. His voice cut like steel. She'll never be ruined by you again. With Lily in his arms, he vanished into the storm. The farmhouse lights shrank behind them as Michael drove, his hands shaking on the wheel, but his grip on Lily firm. She pressed her face into his chest, her sobs quieting at last. Am I safe now? She whispered. Michael's throat tightened. He kissed the top of her head. Forever. The police came later, after Michael handed over the notebooks, the letters, the proof of what Anna and S had done. The farmhouse was empty when they arrived. S and Anna gone, vanished into the night. But Michael no longer cared, because Lily was home, safe in her bed, her rabbit tucked beside her. For the first time in months, she slept soundly, and Michael sat in the doorway, watching her breathe, vowing silently that no shadow, Anna, S, or anyone else would ever touch her again.